Again, that banner has 10,000 names of all the Palestinians killed by Israel in the last few weeks. And they're chanting Gaza.
We can try to interview people if you want. Yeah, absolutely.
Because it might get a little redundant, yeah. I don't know if you want to communicate that or if we should...
If you want to cut away for a second.
Let's find someone first. Yeah, okay. Claudia? On.
Good work. Let's break through this.
Thank you. Are they leaving?
Can you repeat that?
Eugene, we're live right now. You've been around for quite some time in the anti-war movement.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about how historic this is?
Well, I have to say, I think for Palestine, this is one of the most historic demonstrations ever to happen. I mean, we've seen large numbers before in 2002 and 2006 in the war in Lebanon, but I don't think we've ever seen anything explicitly standing in solidarity with the Palestinian people of this magnitude. It reminds me of the height of the anti-Iraq war movement in 2003, 2005. So I think this is historic, really. I mean, just the youth of the demo, the depth and the breadth of who's here from every corner of the country. People have flown from Puerto Rico. People are coming from indigenous communities. People coming from the Black Liberation Movement. Very, very historic event. Very diverse. I think more than anything we've seen before.
And people are here at the White House right now calling on Biden to call for a ceasefire, which seems like the most minimal demand to end this massacre, but they're unwilling to do it. And both political parties are unwilling to call for a ceasefire. I mean, what do you think that says about the political system in this country?
I think it says that the political system in this country is completely broken and completely anti-democratic. We know 66% of people in the United States want to see a ceasefire. The majority of Republicans want to see a ceasefire, but we're seeing basically the entire White House, the entire administration, almost all of Congress, except for maybe 20 people, saying that they're against the ceasefire. So allegedly we live in a democracy, but we can see that the will of the people is not being done.
And, finally, I mean, so many people have turned out today, and there are so many problems in this country. What do you think it is that resonates so deeply about the Palestinian struggle with the people in this country?
Well, I think it's multifaceted, but I think that people, who have seen the, honestly, endless brutality against the Palestinian people, the dispossession of their land, the constant brutalization, the war after war after war with disproportionate civilian casualties, Palestinian children being killed, have seen over the years all of this adding up again and again and again. backed uncritically by the United States, backed by billions of dollars a year. I think people are moved by the morality of the Palestinian struggle, by the way that the Palestinian struggle represents the heart of so many liberation struggles, but also by the fact that this country is doing this in our name, and people don't want this to be done in their name. They don't want genocide and slaughter in their name, and they want to be here to say, if you're going to do it, you're not doing it in my name.
You heard it here, not in our name, and people are chanting, they're continuing to chant ceasefire now. The crowd is just growing bigger and bigger. I see some folks from Code Pink that I think we can grab who just shut down Congress. Let me see if we can talk to them. Medea, would you... Oh, sorry.
Getting a Code Pink interview with Medea. Are we live? Give us 1 second. Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
So, Medea, we're gathered here at the White House, and earlier today we were talking about just the huge gap between what the people of this country want and what the administration is doing. And you have really been at the spearhead of just taking it right to Congress. Can you talk a little bit about that divide and what it says about our political system?
It makes you crazy. When you go into Congress, you think, who are these people? Who do they represent? Certainly not us. I mean, they're representing pro-Israel lobby groups like AIPAC. They're even representing the weapons industry, but they're certainly not representing us. And I encourage people to join in, whether it's a local representative, sit in their offices, or it's in Washington. Come and join us in Washington, D.C., because all next week and the week after and the week after that, we're going to be in their offices, sitting in, dying in, lying down, demanding that they call for a ceasefire. So the only thing that's going to change the White House is if we, like this mass of people now, demand that Congress and the White House stop supporting the Israeli government.
And you've been an advocate for the Palestinian cause for decades. And have you ever seen anything like this?
Never, ever. I mean, we would do protests every year, and we would be lucky if we'd get 500 people there. And this is just enormous. This is so beautiful, and it's so diverse, so many young people. I haven't seen anything like this, and I think we know that it's reflecting around the country where there are other protests, and there have been massive, massive protests, even in small towns around this country. So this is something new, and I think that the people in power are going to have to start listening to the voice of the people.
And lastly, I mean, you know, it's not just Palestine, it's the labor movement, it's the movement, the call to end the blockade on Cuba. It just feels like there's so much happening right now. I mean, do you feel like we're on the cusp of a larger political breakthrough in this country?
I think there's so many people now that realize that this government is not reparable, not reformable, that our Congress is made up of people who have no interest in the well-being of the people here or the people of the world or the climate, except for maybe a handful of them, and that something dramatic has to change. I can't imagine that this election is going to happen, a presidential election, and people are going to be content to vote for Biden or Trump. No, I think we're on the cusp of some major kind of change. Breakthrough now.
Yes, we need a breakthrough now. You heard it here first. Thank you, Medea. So we're still here. We're gathered. The protesters are chanting "End the siege on Gaza." And yeah, let's see if we can find some. Oh, we have Kojo. How's it going? Kojo, how are you feeling?
We're always talking about people power and how the struggle and the people support you. This is what that looks like. This is amazing. You cannot see the end of this. It is amazing. It feels amazing to be out here in this moment.
We feel powerful, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It feels like we're going to free Palestine for real. You know what I'm saying? It feels like it's gonna happen in our lifetime.
You were involved. You're involved currently in school, right?
That is correct. At Harvard, yeah.
And
I had to parade a truck with our faces on it, saying Harvard's leading anti-Semites. Ran it across Cambridge. Of course, Harvard Police Department said, "Oh, we can't do anything about it." And so, yeah, it was an interesting time.
But that's not going to stop you.
I mean, I'm here right now. Did it stop me? No. It empowered me. That's never going to stop the movement. Like I said, the people have our support, so we're going to show up for the people.
What would you say to someone who says, oh, well, Israel is so strong, Israel is so powerful, oh, they're going to dox me, oh, they're going to do this, you know, oh, what if we don't win? What if we can't win? What do you say to them?
We can't think like that. We cannot think like that. That's not how you build towards revolution, right? We have to have optimism. We have to have hope. And we know that we're on the right side of history. The people will be behind us. It's ultimately the people who will dictate our future. And this right here, this is the people. And we're seeing scenes like this across the world, from the UK to South Africa. We're seeing it everywhere, to Brazil. The people are with Palestine, so Palestine will win.
You heard it here. Palestine will win. I would put my life savings on that. Thank you, Kojo. Appreciate you. Oh, what organization are you with?
So I'm with the Party for Socialism and Liberation, and I'm also repping AFRO, the African and African American Resistance Organization over at Harvard. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Kojo. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
We're speaking with
Amina. Murdered by the Israeli government, and I want to, as a regular citizen, I feel like I have no power, and the least I can do is to come here and protest. To see it, but I just wish our government would listen. They see that they're continue to do it. They are not listening.
Listen to us.
Gaza, they don't care about the lives that are there. They're willing to. And it's just sick. You would think that they're human beings.
This dolphin can see in 2 directions at once. But this dolphin can see in 4. Because with NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube, he can watch up to 4
Younger people into higher power because we're the ones that are going to be affected the most by these laws that they're passing. And we just need a huge change in this country. If not, I don't know, I'm eager to leave it because I don't feel safe here. I don't feel represented well enough. Yeah, the United States has to do a better job.
When are you running for office, Amina?
I'm currently and another 10 years after that.
Well, we look forward to it. Thank you so much for being out here, for speaking to us. Appreciate you.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
Free Palestine. Do not listen to the propaganda. Israel is not the victim. They're
100% true, by the way. They are murderers. They've killed 10,000 Palestinians in just the last few weeks. And if you're just joining us, they have a banner over there that have been murdered by Israel. There have actually been more people killed in the last few weeks in Gaza than in the entire Ukraine conflict.
Free Palestine!
The people of this government are silent. They were crying tears. Sean Kirby was crying tears over the people dying in Ukraine, which is approximately farming. But for Palestine, nothing. For Palestine, it's more money for Israel, more bombs, more weapons. So let's see if we can find another person to talk to.
Israel is a terrorist state!
Israel is a terrorist state!
5, 6, 7, 8!
5, 6, 7, 8! Israel is a terrorist state! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! What do you say? How many kids have you killed today? How many kids have you killed today? Free Palestine!
Arab! Arab! Hey, buddy!
What do you want? What do you want? Justice! What do you want? What do you want? Justice! What do you want? What do you want? Justice! What do you want? What do you want? Justice! What do you want? What do you want?
Nice.
What do you want? What do you want? Justice! What do you want? Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Long live Palestine! Long live Palestine!
Solidarity. This is not about, right occupation. Which is nothing new, and
Your team there.
Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free.
It's all the Democrats and all the Republicans. You know what I mean? We have a two-party system, a two-party dictatorship in this country that funds imperialism, that funds, colonization, and that right now is funding genocide. And so we're standing up against that.
And people have just been saying this government refuses to listen to us, and people, it's all these things, and this government, it's not just that it doesn't represent us, it makes money, it profits at our expense, and and people are actually sticking their arms through the fence now, waving Palestinian flags. Has been on the White House lawn, or any flag for that matter. But the crowd is. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that would be good, but it's interview who I am.
Yeah, I'm down to do it.
It's not.
I haven't found it. Okay, let's cut from camera one whenever you're ready. We need to reset.
Is Cam 2 live? Yeah, we're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Hey, babe, we're ready for another interview. Let us know when we're good to go.
We're doing interviews right now if you want to join.
Sure, I watch your page.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
Well,
I'm familiar. I love your video.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes.
this is what they call this real racist. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Best video.
Well, I think that's everyone here, actually.
Yes.
Okay.
Zena, Sima, Susie. And so this has been a cause that I've lived with literally since birth. We have family in Palestine. We've watched them live through the circumstances that they're in now, and we're sick of seeing it. We've been protesting for this since we were children. We're not going to stop until it ends. And we, in our generation, we are going to see a free Palestine, and we know it.
This has really been like a historic day. Like I think anyone who's been following the Palestinian issue has never seen an outpouring like this. Why do you think that is?
I think people are just more open to the truth. I think that people are doing their own research. I think that thanks to social media, our voices are finally being heard. We had Macklemore at the protest, and people like Sarah Sarandon, who, I mean, I never would have imagined would be a voice for the voiceless people of Palestine. And so the more that we have that, the more that our voices are heard, I feel like people are changing their minds, and their eyes are finally being open to the truth.
And you know, Israel has always had this. They've perpetuated this illusion that they're immortal, that they're unbeatable. But it feels like that's kind of like falling apart now, right?
Absolutely. I think it's hard to see what's going on and see the evidence and see the live video and believe any of it anymore. I mean, look at it yourself. It's not just about them dictating the narrative anymore. We have the tools and the resources now to speak up for our family and the Palestinians who are doing everything to videotape the atrocities that they're going through. With everything that they're dealing with, they're taking the extra step to do that, and we're projecting that to everyone here, and that's why we're in America, is to speak up for them on the land that's here.
You know, we've been asking people. It's strange that we're gathered here in front of the White House, tens of thousands. We're making our demands clear. This is Republicans, Democrats all support a ceasefire, yet the Biden administration, the two parties, won't even entertain it. There are like maybe a handful of people in Congress who are calling for a ceasefire. Why do you think there's such a gap between the powers that be, the political system, and us?
I think that they haven't heard us until now, and now they're finally hearing us, and there's going to be change.
I also think they're being controlled, and they thought that they could get away with it, but we're putting pressure on them now, and they're going to know that we won't stand for it anymore. It's not about the money that they're getting in their pockets. It's about the American people and what we want and what we believe and what's good for this country and not what's good for them.
It's about what's good for this country. I completely agree. Thank you so much. Yes. So we're still here. We're at the White House. It seems like the crowd is still growing. And as you can see behind me, there are people now chanting on the White House fence, chanting, "Shut it down." Chanting, "Free, free Palestine." We're not sure if Joe Biden is in there. Maybe he's a little embarrassed. I mean, I think he ran away from a fundraiser. He got shouted down at a fundraiser in Minnesota. But now we're at his home here in Washington, D.C. Hello, sir. How are you? Doing well. Free Palestine. Where are you coming from, sir?
Michigan.
Michigan. Okay. Where in Michigan?
Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Okay. There are a lot of Arabs and Palestinians out there, yes?
Yes.
You know, that's been a huge...
Free state here.
Yes. It's been a huge, subject of discussion. People in Michigan, people in Dearborn and Ann Arbor are saying, we're never voting for Biden,
Never. We will never vote for Biden. It was a mistake. I voted for him.
You voted for him, and you regret that.
And my family voted for him. We will never vote for him.
And would you say that's how people in your community feel as well?
All the Arabs or the Muslims, all the free people will never vote for him.
Well, it sounds like we're getting a serious election upset coming out of Michigan, according to that man. So we're now being joined by...
My name is Haneen. This is my sister Yasmin. My name is Yasmin.
And where are you all?
Alabama.
That's really far. What made you come all the way from Birmingham?
Our family is in Gaza and in the West Bank, and we've lost some family members. And my mom has lost her childhood home. It was the last thing she had left of her dad, and it's gone. And we haven't heard from our family members in over a week. We have no idea if they're alive.
And to see this outpouring of support, what does it mean to you?
It fills my heart. It's overwhelming. I can't explain how much it means that Palestine is finally means something to everybody, and to see everybody out here standing up for us and speaking up for us. And we wanted to thank you for spreading the word and for being a voice and using your platform to tell everybody, come out here, support these people. This is not okay. So we just wanted to give you our gratitude, say thank you.
Yeah, and it's frustrating, really, right? Like that people of this country have been demanding a ceasefire. I mean, it's a popular demand. It's even entertaining.
I think that everything on purpose to engineer a sort of fear and victimize out. But obviously, as you see today, people are not scared. People have been.
People driving from Birmingham to Atlanta, taking a bus up to Washington D.C. It's incredible. And I mean, what kind of message do you have to people in this country who may not still be following this, who may not know? What do you want to tell this country and the world?
I think a lot of people have this convoluted narrative that it's complicated, or that one side's a terrorist state. And you've been fed lies, and you need to present it to you that is not coming through a biased media source, but it's on the ground boots of the people in Gaza, the people in the West Bank, the people in Israel that are talking to you, telling you what their government has been doing to them. Look at the history. Learn about what is going on, and then decide if this is complicated or if it's not complicated. This did not start on October 7th. What Israel has been doing in Gaza has been going on since the Nakba 75 years ago, and death does not justify it. What they're doing, targeting civilians and then calling all civilians terrorists, is not okay. It is racism and it's xenophobia.
I remember my question. You all got me choked up. But, Israel is so good at perpetuating this image that it's invincible. But it really kind of feels like that's falling apart. Right?
Well, it falls apart when you have their false narrative going on to mass media and they're fumbling the ball. They're telling the truth and then receding that. They're saying, oh, no, we didn't mean that, or trying to erase it. And then you have Biden's administration backing that up because they want a foothold in the Middle East. They want some sort of power. They did it to Iraq. They did it to Afghanistan. They did it to Iran. They've done it in countless nations that we've seen before. They've done it here on the ground in the United States, and we're not going to stand for it anymore.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for being here. I mean, it really just warms my heart. Yeah, so we've got Birmingham, Alabama in the house. We've got everyone in the house. We're still here at the White House, and the crowd is still growing. It's still growing. Now I don't think we can get out of here. I think we're stuck. We're completely surrounded, and people are still on the White House fence right now. You can see the Palestinian flag is flying on the White House lawn right now. I never thought I'd see it. You love to see it. You love to see it. Why don't we cut away for a sec? Cut away for a sec? Yeah.
Get an unlimited phone plan starting at $80 per month for your family on Google Fi Wireless. Enjoy.
And I'm coming all the way from Toronto, Canada.
So and Yara's been an organizer with PYM for quite some time. She's been in the movement for some time. So can you tell us a little bit about the organization, about how people can get involved, what kind of work you all are involved in?
So the Palestinian Youth Movement is a mass movement and an organization. We have chapters across the total liberation. We are committed to the right of return. For us, Zionism is a threat to the exploited masses across the world, in particular the global south. And so it is critical for us to be organized across the world, but in particular in North America and in Europe, to be able to confront Zionism all across the Western world. And for those interested in getting until the siege on Gaza
have you ever seen anything like this before?
I mean, what we're looking at here is hundreds of thousands of people who are calling for a ceasefire, calling for the siege on Gaza to be lifted, and genocide. And, you know, particularly when the Biden administration has just voted to send another 14 rewarding it for its genocide, to see a movement like this, hundreds of thousands of people gather, is something I've never seen, but that has given thousands of martyrs as a culmination of that 75-year-long struggle.
You know, the Israeli Prime Minister